Sunday morning, just as the service was starting, we sat in the back row and I looked up at the pulpit and Pastor Bob wasn't there. It was a younger guy. And I leaned over to my friend Larry. I said, Larry, who's that? Who's that in the pulpit? And he looked, are you nuts? That's Pastor Bob. I looked again. And now there's a young guy there. Who is that young guy? Anyway. And Larry said, no, what's the matter with you? No, that's Pastor Bob. So that week I went and saw Pastor Bob and told him what had happened. And he said, well, what did the guy look like that was in the pulpit? I said, strangely enough, looked a little bit like me, maybe a little bit older. And Bob said to me, he said, you know what? God's calling you into the ministry. And
Wow.
and that church was in a denomination that I ended up not following through with, but they promised to send me to seminary and everything, and but theologically along the way, I figured out that church wasn't really teaching what I thought was the true scripture, and so I left the church. But then, I always when people ask me about it, I said, I had a vision. I saw myself in the pulpit, and I kind of hang on to that.
Yeah.
So